I have created a new study method recently, which is essentially just creating a list of words and a list of sentences that I put together as I'm playing games and try to remember, and I record myself doing it. I haven't yet decided whether I'm going to put any online, though I would like to. I'm just worried that they might be a little bit messy, but maybe we'll see how I can edit them. I don't have a lot of time to edit, which is why these videos always end up being a little bit messy and lots of holes and me going blah, 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 blah. But anyway, in Ainu, to say something like, this is something, there is no So what you would say, it seems, is something like, this thing something is. For example, this is a tree would be something like, tampe ni ne. Tampe ni ne. I think it's ni for tree, if I'm remembering correctly. And to say that is a star, you're pointing to the sky, you might say, Tompe no chiu ne. Tompe no chiu ne. There is an existence word as well, ang, which is similar to the Japanese aru. So you've got des, da, ya, ja, all the different variants of that, which are ne in Ainu. And then you've got the iru, aru, oru, which is ang or oka. So one is singular, one is plural. I don't exactly know when I am and I'm not meant to use oka. I know you use it with the word ang, which sounds confusing, but that ang means like I, we, and it's also one, as in one does what one must do, etc. That sort of one. And that gets used a lot in Ainu, especially in stories. So this on its own would be ta'an, ta'ang. So you'd say this tree might be ta'an ni, ta'an ni. That star, ta'an not you, ta'an not you. So yeah, it would be ta'an pe something ne, tom pe something ne, tan something, ton something. And to say here or there is a very similar pattern. He uses tan ta, ton ta. So here, tan ta, tan ta. And there, ton ta, ton ta. To say walk is upkash, upkash, upkash. So I walk, ku upkash, ku upkash. I did say before that ang was a word for I, and it kind of is, but it's not the only word for I. In fact, it seems from what I've read that ku is used for everyday conversation, whereas stories, and when you're talking about something that happened in a story or in the past, you would use ang more often. So when you're referring to something that happened in the past, you would talk about the story using ang. And then when you're talking about normal everyday conversation, like, oh, I just picked up my new chocolate. I don't know, but whatever people talk about in conversations, I'm not a person, so I don't know. But they would use ku, apparently. Now, to say you want to do something, you intend to do something, you would use kusuki, kusuki. So kusu means because or for, I believe. And then ki is to do. So kuki, I do something. So, ku apkash kusuki, I intend to do something. I walk because do. Or I walk for the sake of do. So, ku apkash kusuki, ku apkash kusuki. I intend to eat. This is eat without an object. So it gives you a slightly different word, which would be ipe. Ipe, if I remember correctly. So, ku apkash, no, apkash. Ku ipe kusuki, ku ipe kusuki. And the same with drinking. So, I intend to drink, no object. So, ku iku kusuki, ku iku kusuki. I intend to look. Ku nukara kusuki, ku nukara kusuki. I intend to listen, I think is just nu. So ku nu kusuki, ku nu kusuki. A lot is poronno, poronno. And that comes from the verb It's not an adjective in the traditional sense, but to be big. So I think you can actually say something like ku poro no not poro no ku poro. I am big. I am being big. Something like that. And little would be pong pong pong. So ku pong. I am little. I think. Um. So you have poro, big, no, which is a connector. It either gets used in this sense where it connects a verb in a kind of adjectival way, so it's acting like an adjective or a describing word, and then it connects to the word ang, which is very similar to the Japanese iru or oru. So in Japanese, you would have something like, not really with big, but something like eat. Tabete iru. So it goes from taberu, tabete, that connects it, and then iru, am. So it's kind of like saying, eat, connect, am. And this is kind of similar in this sense. Poron no an. Now, the thing is, with this connector, there are different connectors for different situations. So you've got kane ang, or kaneku ang, which is whilst doing something. So I eat whilst reading, something like that. And then you've also got wa, which has a slightly different use, though right now, if I'm honest, I can't remember exactly what the use was, but I think it is slightly different in the way that it works. So kane is when something is happening at the same time as something else, whereas wa is slightly different, and then no gets used in negatives and with words that are kind of used in the same way as an adjective, I think. There are probably other word uses and ways of using it. And there's also like ine or hine. So it kind of depends on the situation, I suppose. But that's part of the grammar that I can remember. So getting back to there is a lot, it would be poron no ang, poron no ang, poron no ang. So you could maybe say something like waka poron no ang, there is a lot of water. Waka poron no ang, waka poron no ang. Trying to think of something else. There's a lot of rain, so ruyampe poron no ang, ruyampe poron no ang. To say that you lack something is actually a verb, and it is sak, sak, sak. So I lack would be ku sak, ku sak. So I lack water would be waka kusak, waka kusak, waka kusak. I lack a tree, ni kusak, ni kusak. I lack a star, notiu kusak, notiu kusak. I lack a moon, kunne chuk kusak, kunne chuk kusak. I don't know why one would lack a moon. Well, I suppose we all do, really. We have one, but we also don't have one. I lack a cat, which is a big problem. Chape kusak, chape kusak, chape kusak. I lack a rabbit. Ise po kusak, ise po kusak. To have is kor. I also believe it means to hold, and in some dialects it can be used as one of the connectors, like kane. I think it's used in the same way, actually, as kane. So if you're learning Saru dialects, you would use kor, kor. But if you're learning, what's it, Shizunai dialect, which is what I'm learning, you would use kane, kane. So I have a tree, ni kukor, ni kukor. I have a star, not you kukor, not you kukor. I have a moon, maybe kunne chukukor, kunne chukukor. I have a cat, chape kukor, chape kukor. I have a rabbit, isepo kukor, isepo kukor. I have a reindeer, tunnak tun tunnekai tun Tunnakai. Tunnakai. There we go. Tunnakai kukoro. Tunnakai kukoro. Because there's a bunch of words in Japanese from Ainu. One of them is tunnakai. Another one, I think, beko, if I remember correctly. There's a bunch of words in Tohoku dialect, which are also from Ainu. And then, interestingly, you have the opposite. So there's a few words, or a bunch of words actually, in Ainu that come from Japanese originally. And one of those words, meaning a girl, is menoko. Menoko, which is actually entirely Japanese. Me, which is female. I think you would use the kanji for onna for that one. And then no, which is a genitive particle, which is used in all sorts of things. So my something would be watashi no. And then ko is a child. So menoko, menoko. But it gets used in Ainu and doesn't really get used in Japanese. So to say my is ku kor, something. So often when you want to change the meaning or add meaning to a noun, you place whatever it is before the noun. So if you want to say a big cat, you would say poro chape, chape, poro chape, poro chape. If you want to say a small star, you'd say ponnochiu, ponnochiu. But what you're really saying here is being big cat, being small star. And in the same way, for my, you would say I having something. So my cat, ku ko chape, ku ko chape, ku ko chape. And you could probably say something like my my cat is big. Might be something like ku ko chape poro, ku ko chape poro. And then I think to add a kind of declarative when you're explaining something to someone, often in Japanese you'd say nda or noda. You do something similar in Ainu, but it's usually pe ne rue ne. So that rue is kind of like a declarative sort of thing. So maybe if you're explaining something to someone, you might say, my cat is big. Da. So, 私の猫、おきん、おきんだ. Something like that. I don't bloody remember. Anyway, I don't actually use da at all. I always use ya. Anyway, so my cat is big might be something like kuko chape porop ne rue ne. Kuko chape porop ne rue ne. Something like that. Or it could be also kuko chape poro rue ne. I can't remember exactly because rue ne seems to follow the verb. So maybe it can attach directly to the verb. I don't remember. It's not really that consequential. Essentially, these are the sentences and words that I'm practicing with at the moment. You wouldn't think, based upon my apparent inability